Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Baba Kizo again. It's day 6 today. Our topic today is scanning and enumeration. Straight into it. Just reading through the blog and showing basic examples. Not to take too much of your time. Let's get into it. Welcome to day 6 of our 10-day cybersecurity challenge. Today we will be we will explore the essential concept of scanning and enumerations, which are crucial steps in the ethical hacking process. Yeah. Scanning helps you discover network hosts, open ports, and available services, while enumeration provides deeper insights into the systems and application running on those hosts. I think this definition is pretty straightforward. Understanding scanning. Scanning is the process of discovering devices, services, and open ports on a network. It provides an essential map of the target environment, allowing ethical hackers or any type of hacker that you are to identify potential entry points. This is basically straightforward with the definitions. No need to go too deep. So, yeah, key concept to understand: ports and services. Identify open ports and the services running on them. In the last video, we did a little bit of Nmap port scanning and we found some open ports. That's basically the exact same definition for this. We just found the ports, and now we're going to be doing a little bit more deeper and finding out what services are running on those ports. In the last video, we saw port 80 and 443 SSH, but we don't know what type of services are running on there. We just know it's SSH and HTTP and HTTPS. So next, OS fingerprinting. Determine the operating system of a target device. Determine what operating system a device is running. Probably running Windows, Kali, any type of Linux, Ubuntu, or any operating system. You can find that out too by scanning and enumerating what's up with it. Network mapping. Create a map of the network topology and devices. Yeah, straightforward definition. Tools for scanning. One of the most popular tools for network scanning is Nmap, network mapper. So the short form I've been calling it is Nmap, but the full name is network mapper. So Nmap is a versatile, powerful, and widely used for identifying open ports, services, and more. Nmap is not just the only one you could use, but that's what I use, and that's the best in my opinion. It has more information available to offer to you, and it's really easy to use and understand too. So common nmap commands: basic scan, description, performs a default scan to discover open ports. And this, if you just type this and find a target, we're going to show some example in a little bit, but you could just copy this and paste into your terminal. Don't just write this. Replace this with whatever IP you're trying to scan, or whatever domain. It could be babakizo.com or any google.com, anything. Or it could be an IP address. So let's number two, service version detection. Description: detects the version of services running on open ports. Straightforward. That's what it does. Look at this SV. Scan the version of services running on whatever target you have, either IP address or this domain name. Remember, it's not just IP address. Number three, operating system detection. Attempt to identify the operating system. Basically, what we just said. Find out what operating system is running under. Is it Windows 10, Windows, whatever it is. Even if it's not a Windows operating system, just a server or anything, find it out there with this command. Number four, aggressive scanning combines OS detection, version detection, and script scanning with just this A. You can combine this and the basic scan in just this one command. Yeah. Network scan number five scans a range of IP addresses, e.g., uh, 192.168.10/24. So it scans everything from 0 to 24. You should understand this last part. So slash 24. This is going to continually change. It goes to 1, 2, 3, 4 until it gets to 24. This command would scan literally everything in there. So you just paste nmap and the IP address that looks something like this. Not exactly this one because your target might have a different IP address, like babakizo.com. It has a different IP address. This is just a basic example for IP addresses. Next, understanding enumeration. Enumeration is the process of gathering detailed information about the systems and services identified during scanning. It often involves querying services for specific data and looking for vulnerabilities. Definition is pretty straightforward in my opinion. So, key concept to understand about enumeration: user and group information, identify valid usernames, groups on the system. Number two, network shares, discover shared resources and files on the network. If you do more digging into a target you found during your scanning, these are what you should look out for during your enumeration. You might find out more by looking at your scan results. That's basically what enumeration is with this definition. You should understand that. So, number three, service specific data. Extract detailed information from network services. So, after you've done all this, number five, the network scan, the next step is to enumerate it further and find out what the services are running on them and what possible vulnerabilities they might have and what you could do with them. So, tools for enumeration. Enumeration often requires a combination of tools tailored to the specific service being targeted. Common enumeration tools: Netcat, a versatile network tool used for reading and writing data across network connections. So command netcat dash blah blah blah. So this could be it could go both ways. It could go vice versa. Anyway, either you're connecting to the target or the target is connecting back to you. And you could use nc dash feed and the target IP, then the port that's open that you're trying to attack. You could just nmap netcat dash lbnp. This is basically what I use. So then you can have a full command. So nothing to attack there. There's no IP or anything there. So okay, let's use the dash C to give you more help and see more commands you could use. You could use all of these commands. So there's a lot more you could do with netcat. Next, Nicto. Nicto description: a web server scanner that identifies vulnerabilities and misconfiguration. Straightforward. That's just what it does. Can't show you right now, but because no target to attack. Because if you want to try something out, you can just type this. You're gonna find something and just keep reading more on the internet to find out more. Enum for Linux. This is a tool for enumerating information from Windows or Samba systems. Samba is file sharing services. So you can learn more about that later. For Enum for Linux, finds out more about Windows, mostly Windows, I think so. I don't really use that too, but you could learn more about it if you're interested in that. SNMP work description: a tool for querying SNMP devices for information. Basically straightforward. Example command: SNMP work v2c c public ip. And there's more. You have to download these two, so it's not automatically on your Kali Linux like the netcat. You have to download that if you want, but I don't have it on here. Practical example using Nmap for scanning. We already did the example, we showed you an example, but we will do that again. Let's perform a practical example using the targets. Yeah, again, we already did this, but why not? You can just go through these basic steps to find out more. We have done this before. Now we're going to do scanning for the services. Yeah. So that might take some time. Depends on whatever it is. And the aggressive scanning, we are not really trying to do that. And just so you know, whenever you do a aggressive scanning on a target, if the target has a way of logging or monitoring their network traffic, they will know that you're doing this. So you should be aware of whenever you're scanning a target, they know you're scanning them and they know where you're scanning from. So should be aware of that. Don't just think you can scan a target aggressively without them being aware. But there's other ways to do it. You can be a little bit more sneaky. Yeah. Analyzing the result. Let's see if anything comes out. Yeah, anything. The alert showed up. Okay, see the difference? Now we can see the version of the services running on the OpenSSH, the 6.6 point blah 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 blah. So if you're actually having a real world target, you can just copy this and go to your browser and search for vulnerabilities. That's how we just load it. So there is a yeah, there's actually an exploit for this one. You can exploit it, but we're not. Yeah. I think we're just jumping too much right now. But this is how you're gonna exploit the target, and means hacking a target. You can actually hack the sites we just and the SSH ports we just seen now with this. It's not been verified, but yeah, there is an exploit for that. There's an exploit for this service. Don't let us jump too much. I think we're jumping too much right now. We're just working on the basics. So let's go back. Analyzing results, open ports, identify which ports are open and the services running on them. We just did and we found out what services were running on them. Service version, determine the versions of the services which can help identify vulnerabilities. That's literally what I just did. I just identified the version of this service running on here, and I just copied it and pasted it on Google. Guess what? There is a vulnerability, and there's a way we can attack it and gain access to the service. So, operating system, note the guest operating system to tailor further attacks. If we don't want to search on Google or there is no known vulnerability that anyone else has found before, we can actually craft our own, but it's not that easy to craft because 90%, 99.9% of the time, this is what I just do. And if nothing else is found, I kind of just look for a different target or not trying to build my own exploit or anything like that. Okay, conclusion. Today, we explored the vital stages of scanning and enumeration in ethical hacking. These techniques provide the groundwork for further exploration and exploitation of a target. Literally, what I just did. Because if we take any other step from here, means we are already trying to attack the SSH port 22. Because we found the services running, now we are going to start attacking. But that's for the next phases of our videos, not right now. So tomorrow we will dive into the exploitation techniques and learn how to leverage identify vulnerabilities. Stay safe and happy hacking. You understand what I mean here, right? These targets, we're going to try to attack it live. I think we are getting into the interesting stuff right now, actually doing some hacking and not just talking and talking and talking. Thank you again. Stay safe and happy hacking.